So this is back to the relationship Genesis material, which is, mostly complete. But I also wanted to talk about the fourth agreement, really, that's come up for me. And this is important in a few ways. So the three agreements, the foundational three agreements for I have any healthy relating, whether it's professional or intimate or sexual or what have you, is that you tell the truth and hear the truth, and the principle is truth over comfort. So if there's something I feel like I should tell you, but I'm uncomfortable saying it, that's the very thing I should tell you. If I feel like there's something I need to tell you that you may have trouble hearing, that's the very thing I need to tell you. So truth over comfort, rather than, well, I don't want to rock the boat, or gosh, I don't want to hurt their feelings. Or, in fact, it's far more hurtful to hide truth from people and then have them find out either some other way, or, after a very long period of time, or even worse, you make a decision without them understanding anything that's going on, and so they don't have an opportunity to respond to feedback, all those things. So anyway, truth over comfort, hear the truth, tell the truth. Hopefully openly and graciously, but not always the case. The second is you don't hold anyone accountable to agreements they haven't made. And then the third is if you're upset, then make a request. You might be upset because there's a boundary that's been violated. You might be upset because you're triggered and you need them to, you would prefer they curtail their behavior while you work on that trigger, because you are responsible for your own experience. And those are the first three agreements. Hear the truth and tell the truth. Truth over comfort is one. Don't hold anyone accountable to agreements they haven't made is the second one. And the third is if you're upset and you want to create a new rule or create a new agreement, then you make a request. The fourth one, though, which I highly recommend, is that you just both acknowledge, or all three of you, or however many people are in the shared reality of whatever agreement you're creating, is to acknowledge that you're responsible for your own experience. I mean this in two different ways. One is that you just acknowledge that no one else is responsible for your emotions, and it's impossible for them to be so. Now, this is timeless wisdom. Well, not timeless. This is spiritual wisdom that's been around for centuries, millennium, a couple thousand years in the West and several thousand years in the East. That it's nothing out there. It's your internal representations. It's your judgments about it. It's your things from the past that are getting triggered. It's your beliefs. It's your filters. It's your interpretations. It's all those things, right? How you interpret a thing is going to be, or how you judge a thing is going to produce your emotional experience. Nobody can be responsible for that. Often people can't even predict it. So making them responsible for your experience is not only a kind of a codependency, but also kind of first of all, it gives all of your power away, because you're the one who's responsible for your experience. That's the good news. It gives you access to power. Giving that power to somebody else in a way that you can, make them responsible for your experience, and if they take that on, then a very strange dynamic starts to occur that involves controlling other people and blaming people for things that isn't there doing at all, and just gets really messy. It's unclean. Now, we still have to, that has to be applied to self. We can't, say, well, you're responsible. Well, maybe you can, but it doesn't usually produce very good results, or so I've read. But we're responsible for our own experience. The second way I mean that, though, is if you want a thing, don't sit there and, passively, suffer while you're not getting it. Create it for yourself. Ask for it. Request it. Express your desire. And, they'll likely will assist you in having it become a reality. So that's the fourth agreement that I would recommend, and I think those are the foundational agreements for any healthy dynamics and any healthy relating, regardless of the context. Of course, it's more salient and more in the intimate context. There's just a lot more at stake. Also makes it far more important that you have these clarity of rules and agreements. Anyway, that's it. That should wrap up relationship genesis. I'm toying with the idea of, creating a section about relationship pathology and all the ways it can go wrong and all the things that can occur and all the icky dynamics and can become to get into play and get unclean if there's resentments or codependency or things that are unexpressed like that. In a way, we could just say all the ways it goes wrong if you don't implement and help each other stand by these rules and agreements, or let's call them standards for healthy relating. Okay. I may or may not do that, but I'm trying with it. Again, this wraps up relationship genesis, how to start it right, how to keep it clean, and how to set yourself up for success. And then the relationship continuum, which is how to continue to have it thrive in the face of, or maybe even as a result, sometimes of conflict that can lead to deeper understandings and certainly deeper intimacy once you move through it. And then, of course, relationship postmortem, which is how to powerfully and honorably end a relationship, at least for yourself, regardless of how it ended or who ended it, in a way that not only helps you honor your feelings and grieve appropriately, but also how to make sure that what's next is always better, and to do all of that while regaining your power without vilifying the other person or diminishing them in any way. Okay. I'll see you soon about something else, I'm sure.